we are going to learn about SwiftUI navigation for dummies. You know, all of the navigation tutorials out there on YouTube, they all kind of uh, go for the navigation stack with the path, and it's kind of complicated in this new navigation stack in iOS 16. It's a lot better than navigation view, but it's still complicated. So today I'm going to tackle the task of simplifying navigation in SwiftUI. That's why it's called SwiftUI Navigation for Dummies. I'm going to show you the easiest way to navigate in SwiftUI. Now, if you come here to learn about the navigation stack with a path, then this is not for you. We are going to make it as simple as possible. So I have prepared a project right over here. It says SwiftUI Navigation for Dummies, and we have the simple app file, and inside of the content view, I have a button that will go to the destination view and some a list with some mock data with some dependencies. And again, we are going to navigate to those destination with dependency view. It's basically, this simple view, and this is without any dependencies. Okay, and this is our mock data, and this is our dependency. It's really, really straightforward. Now, what do we want from a navigation? Well, it has to be flexible and it has to be reusable. So that's why right over here I have a button. I want this to be programmatically able to navigate. Now, how could we actually do that? Well, we have to kind of massage the current API into a much more user-friendly one. And I have done that. You can take a look at it on at github.com/rebeloper/navigation view modifier. And it's actually what it is. It is a view modifier for navigation. So let's just copy the HTTPS out. Let's add this onto our project right over here. Let's select package dependencies plus, and let's add that up to next major version. Okay, add package and add package. There we go. We have added this. And if you wish to, you can just take a look at all of its contents. It's relatively straightforward. We take the existing navigation API and we are massaging it. So now that we have our package right over here, what we want to do is just go, for example, in our content view, and let's just import navigation view modifier. There we go. And first of all, I just want to simply navigate to the destination view. So what I will just do is just type out navigation, and open parentheses, and now you will see these options. And there are two of them. Type is presented on dismiss, optional, and destination, and type item on dismiss and destination. Because we are just going to simply present the destination view, we are not moving any dependencies. We are going to use the one with the is presented and not the one with the item. We're going to go on that route also. So let's just hit option. So the on dismiss will highlight and return. So we can just choose that. Now on the navigation, on the type, we just go dot, and here we go. We have full screen cover, link, and sheet. Now, what are these? Most probably you are familiar with the sheet and full screen cover. You just type out sheet, and you are just going to you're just going to simply add a view modifier. Nope, I have to plug in my computer. Just a second, guys. Ah, the joys of being live. Anyway, on the recording, we are going to cut this out. Okay, so we have the sheet and the full screen cover. You already know that. But we also have here something called a link, and that's really, really powerful. It behaves as a view modifier, just like you are expecting a sheet or a full screen cover to be, but it's actually the one with the navigation link. Of course, it's not that. You can take a look at the implementation, but it behaves exactly like that. So let's just start off with the sheet right over here. And then we have the is presented. You already know that if you were working with the sheet view modifier. So let's create a private state right over here. And the name would be is destination view presented. There we go. And let's just set this to false. Okay, is destination view presented? Let's just bind it right over here on dismiss. Well, currently I'm just going to print out dismissed. Okay, and the destination will be our destination view. Okay, so there you have it. We have our state variable, our navigation view modifier, and then we are going to toggle the is destination view presented upon the tap of that button. Now, let's just build and run and see how it looks like. And we are going to have an issue right over here. I can already tell you that. Let's just wait for this to load. There we go. If I tap on destination view, okay, we have our sheet. Oh, we don't have any issues because it's a sheet. It's not a link. Okay, so destination view, slide it down, dismissed. If I tap on the dismiss button, it's just going to be dismissing it. Again, let's just take a look at the destination view. It just uses the environment of dismiss to dismiss this view. Now, let's just change this to full screen cover just for a second so you can just see that. So destination view, there we go. We cannot swipe down. If we tap on dismiss, it's just going to dismiss it. And now, let's just go for the link, you know, the where I said that we are going to have a problem. And there we go. It's not actually working. If I tap twice on it, it's just going to say dismissed, which is really strange. But with the navigation link, you have to have a navigation stack. So what you want to do is just go right over here and just have a navigation stack with the root. We are not going to bother to have the path at all. And you can just use this in all of your projects really, really easily. You don't need a path actually. So now if I build and run, tap on navigation stack, there we go. We are inside the destination view. We can tap on the back button or we can tap on the dismiss button, which is really, really nice. Okay, so yes, this is how we can just simply navigate to dependency less without to a destination without a dependency. But what about dependencies? This is really, really important. And that's why I created these dependencies. Basically has a value. It has to be equatable and identifiable to make this work. And of course, because it's identifiable, I set up an ID automatically. And I have this simple value right over here. And then here is my mock data. Okay, so under the content view, right over here, the navigation link, we are going to create another one. So dot navigation. And this time around, I'm going to use the one with the item and on dismiss. So there we go. Before I continue, let me just tell you that you want to add all of these view modifiers outside of any lazily loaded view. Those are the list, the lazy VStack, horizontal stacks, all of those, because we are using this link type of navigation also, and the navigation stack has to, grab access to that navigation link. Okay, just so you know, you just want to put this outside of your lazily loaded views. For example, this list in our case. So we have this navigation. Let's just go with a sheet first and the item. What is the item? Well, it has to be equatable and identifiable. So let's create that right over here. We have a private state, and let's just name this dependency, and this will be of type dependency, and it will be optional. So its default value is nil. We are not giving any value when we create it right over here. So let's just bind them. So dependency, there we go. On dismiss, I'm just going to print out dismissed again, and the destination will be our destination with dependency view and our dependency. Now, if you've been using the sheet view modifier with the item, you are most probably familiar that you are going to get here back an item. Well, we are not getting back an item right over here because I want to set this binding to nil so I can dismiss it. Just a second. So right over here, for our dependency, I'm going to bind our dependency $sign dependency. There we go. Okay, so how do we initiate it? Well, we just simply go dependency, or rather self-dependency, because we want to have access to this dependency and not this one, equals dependency, the one that we tapped on inside the for each. So let's just build and run, and believe it or not, that's all you have to do. Just navigate to Ada. Okay, we just dismiss Bob. There we go. Dismiss, clear, dismiss. Okay, it's really, really nice. We have the dependency, but how can we pop? So I just tapped on the dismiss button right over there, as you already saw that. But what if we popped? Well, we just set the dependency back to nil. Let's just build and run so we can see that again, popping. It's really, really nice. Now, just so we get this right, let's just have this also as a link. As you can see, just that small little tweak. We can just pop, pop, pop. There we go, clear, and just tap on back there. And the cool part here is that also now we have an on dismiss, which we don't have with navigation links and the basic SwiftUI navigation stack. Okay, so what else do we want to do? Well, you could just stop here and you got it all. So it's as simple as that. And just import the navigation view modifier and set up some state variables for yourself on the view, and then you just start navigating away. But I want to make this a little bit more flexible. You could, again, you can stop right over here and you can just build out your navigation with this. But I want to have, for example, deep linking options. And for that, having these state variables on the view itself, it's not really useful. What we need actually is an observable object that would be available as an environment object. Therefore, I can just navigate programmatically wherever I want. Okay, so let's create that. I'm just going to create a new file right over here, Swift file, next, and let's just call this navigation. There we go. Let's create it, and let's import SwiftUI, and let's create our class of navigation, and that's an observable object. Okay. What do we want to add in here? Well, first of all, I'm going to move my two variables, the state variables. Of course, I'm going to rename them to published. So published var, published var. There we go. We have these two. Now, because I'm already in here, I want to have these convenience methods from the navigation. So I will just create a go back. So go back. And you could create your own, according to your own application logic, whatever you'd like. So we just go dependency equals nil. Okay. So that would be our go back. And then we'll just have a present also. So present and with dependency, and that would be an optional. And we just go self dot dependency equals dependency. Okay, so it's as easy as that. Of course, you can just set up for the isDestination represented. This is just for a quick overview. Now, what you want to do is just create this as a private state object. So navigation of type navigation, and just set it as an environment object on, in our case, the navigation stack. So wherever you want this to be available. And then you can just go right over here. Instead of these two, we are going to have a private environment object of navigation. There we go. And now I could just say navigation.isDestinationViewPresented. We are going to toggle. And then right over here, navigation.dependency equals the dependency. We want to bind this. And also right over here and right over here. Let's see if we got rid of all of our errors. Okay, so let's build and run and see at least that we are ready to go. Destination view, yes. We can dismiss, great. Okay, so great. We can now do a little bit of cleanup, so we can just go navigation dot present dependency. Okay, let's just see if that is going to work. Of course it should work. So we have Ada and a Bob. Okay, so now let's implement the back button. Of course it's going to pop already. So right over here, I want to first of all, let's have, we have our dependency, but now we don't really need this dependency, so we can just simply remove it. We are not going to have that. We are going to have access to it as a private environment object, navigation. Okay, we want to remove, well, I'm just going to comment it out. So destination dependency view, nothing to add there. And then the dependency comes from our navigation. So navigation.dependency, and then we just go dependency equals nil when we are popping, or we just go navigation, go back. Let's see, build has succeeded. And either, there we go, back, Bob, back, and clear. You can just pop or dismiss. The destination view also works. And of course, this works exactly the same if we just chose full screen cover or sheet. Again, this is available for free on github.com/rebeloper/navigation view modifier. Go ahead and check out the code. And just a reminder, this has been, well, I have built this out with the help of my community. Go ahead and check it out. It's at store.rebeloper.com/community. So go ahead and check it out. It's SwiftUI Nation, and hope you enjoy navigation view modifier inside your project, and I will see you in the next one.